Okay, so it's all done now? Okay, good. Хорошо. Спасибо.
All right. Good morning and happy Friday, Craps family. Here we are on the coffee run. I'm going to be joined again by Steen. We're going to code out the Red Cross today and get a couple other. If you have questions for Steen, this is a good day to ask questions, by the way. Just put a Q in front of it in the chat and I'll make sure I bring those up to him. Wincraps questions, obviously, right? So I have one specific thing I want him to show us how to do. And I'm going to run an idea by him as well. We were talking after the show yesterday, so I've got a couple things to ask before we jump into the real stuff. But before we do any of that, quick set of announcements over here. One, trip around the table will be on. Oh, I got to get him muted. The trip around the table will be done. I talked to Jeff last night. We're going to go with my show every other Sunday, probably starting this Sunday. I got to scramble and find me a guest for Sunday, but Sunday's trip around the table will start this week. It'll be every other Sunday. And then Jeff will go with Craps Chat every other Sunday between that. But because next Sunday's Easter, he's going to skip the first one. We'll start the week following. So that's what's going to happen there. The other announcement is that Joe from Craftsmaster Journey needs your chips. If you've been following along, he's building a table for us, for you. He's building a table for you, a throwing station for the Craps for the Cure event. And he's using our chips, everybody's chips, to customize the table somehow. He hasn't disclosed really how he's going to do it yet, but that's going to be like one of the marquee prizes available at Craps for the Cure that we can start bidding on. And we're going to start the bidding on stuff in the summertime, by the way. We're going to start early bidding this year to get way ahead of it. So yeah, if you have chips of your own, send them to Joe. You can contact Joe through our Discord, Craftsmaster Journey, or through his channel, Craftsmaster Journey on YouTube. So make sure you get him your chips as soon as you can. If you're watching this morning's Daily Paycheck, you'll notice that I am torn again. And by the way, here's a prize. I'll send you the first person that tells me the band that I'm thinking of when I say torn again. The first person gets a set of Lammers from me in the mail. So you have to email me, but you got to tell me what band that is without looking it up. Don't go to Google and look up the band. What band am I thinking of when I say torn again? Anyway, I'm torn on this freaking Paycheck again. I always have that week where we try a bunch of things out, and I think Waylon's the Fab Four is cool, but it's too grindy for a Paycheck. It's just, the profits aren't big enough in the grind to make it work. I tried some things to fix it. I was doing some line pressing that worked okay. I tried putting an iron cross into it. It ends up being too damn complicated, frankly. So I'm torn in this way, right? Is it too complicated? Like, what should I be doing here for next week's Paycheck? I wrote Waylon, I'm like, screw it, man. I'm just going to do the Baccarat line strategy. $500 chips. We're going to do a purple chip Baccarat line, win $500 and get the hell out, right? We might test that next week. But yeah, it might just be something simpler, right? We might just need to kind of go back and simplify things. I think sometimes we do too much and we end up making a mess for ourselves. So this week proves that. This week proves we're all over the place. And it's like, you know what? Maybe it's just too much. So with all that said, I'm going to bring my guest on. We're going to bring Steen back here. Let me go pull up his screen. There we go. Steen, good morning. Thanks for joining us again.
How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. I had fun yesterday. Unfortunately, I'm kind of mad at you because after the show's over, I went upstairs, I had some breakfast, then I came back down, and I'm like, I wrote you a bunch of emails, and so you all know, I asked him a couple things, like I can't get the bankroll to kind of persist the way I wanted it to. What I'm trying to do is say, like, let's say you have like $10,000 in like your bank account, and you buy in for $2,000, so your bank account's down to $8,000. So I have $2,000 in the rack, $8,000 in the bank. I play it out, hit a win goal, hit a loss limit, put whatever I have in my rack into my account. My account would either be like 10,500 or it might be 9,000 something. And then say, okay, next session starts. I want to take 20% of what's in the bank as my next buy-in, and kind of, like ramp the buy-in levels up and down based on what I had in the bank. I struggled with that for like an hour. I wrote you a couple emails. I'm like, you know what? And then you wrote me back. So just make a bank account as a check stack and just do it yourself. which is why. So I spent like 3 hours farting around yesterday, getting the bank route, getting that to work. So I got it working perfectly. I'm super happy with it, but I'm like, my boss is probably wondering why no work got done today, and it's all Steen's fault because I got so tied up around that. But it was a fun day, and I actually rewrote my whole template now to take care of that. So I'm jamming with that. But what I want to do here is get you back on the screen with me and talk about a couple of things that we didn't get to yesterday. And then you wrote a script that's the Red Cross script. So I actually want to get to the Red Cross and work that. So let me get the Wincraps screen up here. Hold on a second. There we go.
Yeah, we can go over the Red Cross. It's not complete because I don't know all of your rules, but most of it's there, and we can fill it in and hopefully finish it.
Sure. So we'll run it against my rolls. So as you know, if I go to the Action tab and I go to the dice roll files, we're running against my 6,500 rolls or whatever it is that I've done from the Daily Paycheck show. We're going to run against that today. But if we were going to go to, and maybe we'll get it set up and we'll do some random rolling later on. I want you to walk us through this screen at some point, which is if I go to the configure screen, there is a tab here for probability where, and for folks who don't know this, can I make this bigger or no? I guess I can't.
Unfortunately, not the configuration.
Okay. So hopefully y'all can see this well enough. I can't zoom in. Anyway, this is giving you the standard probabilities. This is showing you the 7's going to come 16% of the time and whatever. We can actually change this, right? To make any probability that you want, right? I can favor the 6. I can favor the 8. I can reduce the 7's by 1 and spread it out evenly. I can reduce the 7's by 1 and give it all the 6 and the 8. You can do all sorts of things with this screen here to simulate a person who's got some dice influence. And when you do that, and then you run the random number generator, this impacts how the random numbers come out. And what I've done, I've messed with it some. And when you do almost any strategy, if you change the 7 from 6 out of 36 to 5 out of 36, you never lose. Like you literally never lose. This thing goes to $1 million every single time. I'm like, man, if I could actually do that on a consistent basis, like this thing proves out, it's actually kind of cool. But I'm going to have you do this with us.
There's such a small percentage on these bets. So if you can influence it at all, it makes a big impact, like you say.
For sure. And it's drastic. Like just doing like a 3-point molly with the 7 at 5 out of 36, it literally goes to millions of dollars. Once in a while, it'll hit a bad streak, but honestly, it just goes forever. It's kind of fun to watch. All right, here we go. Let's add a player to the table. We're going to add a new player here. And I'm going to say, yes, we'll add him in. He's going to be called the Red Cross. And we'll give him 5K to start with. Let's see. Sure, same log. Okay, so he's here. And I want to get you to help me code it out. Actually, you've written the code already for this. Let's go to the auto bet screen and let's do file. I think I've got a script for him, but it's empty. So I'm going to go ahead and give me a second to go find it here. Let's see, casino games, craps, Wincraps strategies, the Iron Cross variations, the Red Cross bet. Okay, this is an empty file. Now you have given me a file that actually has the full script in it. So I can type this in or I can paste it in. You can walk through. I wonder what's most instructive. If I just paste the whole thing in here, you can walk us through how you wrote it.
Well, there's a lot to it, so it's going to take you a while to type it out. I would just paste it and we'll go from there.
Let me do it. Let's paste it in. Let me get this screen back up again, and boom, there it is. There's the paste. Let's walk through, this is a long script, what you did. And I'll remind people how this thing works, right? Here it is. The place bet wins. We always collect, right? The box feeds the rack is rule 1 with the Red Cross. Number 2 rule is the field wins. The field feeds the box. Okay. The line bets, we parlay a win. If we lose, we do a 20% ladder. If you lose on a point being resolved, so you don't switch sides if the come out 7s or whatever happens. But if you lose on a point, then we switch to the dark side or light side. That's the line is basically switches based on point winners only. That is not a question mark. That is a period. That's when we do that. Okay. we only ladder up, switch sides, and ladder up. Switch sides and ladder up on point winners. So we're just gonna get rid of that right there. That is the rule. Switch sides and ladder up on the point winners only. If you lose on the come out, then just go out.
So yeah,
same
this part I wasn't clear on your rules here. So for instance, like your parlay wins. What about back-to-back wins? Are you parlaying each one, or is it a one-time?
No, you go back to. So we've been going back to base. So if you parlay the win, you win it all the way back down to your base bet.
Okay.
So as an example, you could lose on. Let's say you have a pass line bet and you lose it. You come back out to the don't, and you ladder up. So you go from 100 to 120 or 100 to whatever the ladder size is. Let's say you double it. You go from 100 to $200 on the don't. You win on the don't. You parlay that win to 400. You win the parlay all the way back down to 100, back down to your initial base bet. So the parlay is the idea is you catch that back to back, and then you're if you lose the parlay, you go back out at that laddered level, the $200.
And the thing I didn't write down, but which I think I understood, was that you're doing the line bets completely independent of all the other bets.
Yes, the line bets just always do their thing, no matter what happens. They're just doing on their own system basically. And then the Iron Cross part of it is I look at it as two separate things. And like at the end of the day, between the two of them, you win or lose. But that's kind of how we do that. The other thing that we talked about yesterday, which I think is confusing, is this part. The field feeds the box. That's an interesting piece to it, which you were saying to me over the phone, like, okay, when you're playing it, it's a lot of it. A lot of it's feel. Like you have a point. Let's say the point is 9. So you've got the 5, 6, 8 from the Iron Cross and the field. The field then just feeds the 4 and 10. Right.
Right.
Because I got a line bet in play because the line's covered by something, or the 9's covered by something. If the point is 6 or 8 or 5, now I've got 3 numbers opened up top, effectively, right? I got the 4, 9, and 10 open up, so the field covers all 3 numbers and it builds those up. So it's not just there's no like prescriptive way to say put the field somewhere. Like you got to kind of split that out and sort of know where you were putting your money. Like I think it comes down to like knowing what the open numbers were at the start of the roll, and then the field evenly feeds those numbers. And that might be the easiest way to talk about that.
So I've got a nice little routine in here that covers that. But
cool.
What I've done is I'm building the empty numbers from the inside out. And once they're all full, then it goes through and it looks at which one is the lowest, and it starts building the lowest bets up. Mm-hmm. So it works great. But again, it's a matter of, is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
I think it seems pretty logical, but maybe you might have had something else in mind.
Yeah, let's think with the logic here. And Waylon's reminding me too. One thing is to make it so that you start over at base when you're in profit. So yeah, anytime you're in profit, the whole thing has to reset itself, and that's something we forget to code. I don't forget to code it in, but like when I'm doing the routines that I write in Wincraps always are, if I hit my win goal, my loss limit, I reset everything, which is kind of what Waylon's talking about here. If you're going to keep on playing it though, let's say that we're playing this out and at some point we get to profit, we bring it all back down again. So when the point resolves. All right, let's look what we have here. So we're saying if initializing the script, I'm actually in the code here. So when we initialize the script, winning bets are going to be set up as same bet. The beginning bankroll is $5,000. The unit size is a quarter. And you're setting a variable called cs2.side, which is either the do side or the don't side. So you're basically using a 1 or a 0 to be the indicator of what side of the table we're on. So zeros are don'ts, 1 is the do side. This kitty, cs3.kitty equals 0. This stores the amount 1 on the field to feed the box numbers. Okay,
yeah, you'll see
store that temporarily. Okay. I'm curious as to why you have this, because you would be able to say the field wins is a variable you have, right? So I wonder how we're going to use that. The win goal is 20%. The stop loss is 33%. And here we go. Now we get into the gameplay. And we're going to say if the bankroll is less than the loss limit or greater than the win goal. So here's your kind of your stop loss win goal thing. Start a new session. Okay.
Right. And I threw yesterday we talked about your percentage won and lost, so I put that in there too, that
Mhm.
check stack 9.
Yep. This will be
Yeah,
our percentage won and loss.
I'm
Yep.
sorry about yesterday. It was kind of confusing.
No
I
worries.
initially thought you wanted to go with some variables that mirrored what you had set up before, the number of
Mhm.
wins versus the number of decisions, and I was kind of keyed in on that. Anyway, I
Yep.
think we got past that.
Yeah, this will tell me if I won my 20% or lost. Because sometimes you win more than 20%. Sometimes you lose more than 33%. It depends on what's out there. So that tells us that. All right, there's your setup. Okay, so we have our routine here where we say that's stop and restart. This is going to be your basic setup. Now for the fun part, the gameplay part, which I haven't even looked at yet. So here's the rule. If don't pass wins, then if it was a 7 out, we're going to double the don't pass. We're going to parlay the win.
Yeah, this
Else,
part,
if we
like I
don't
said,
pass,
I
yeah,
haven't fully developed this part because I didn't know your rules,
mhm,
but yeah, I knew that part was right. So the one
right?
time parlay there.
Yeah, and if the don't pass loses, then we bet the don't pass times 2 on the pass line. Now the problem with this could be is if you were parlayed up. So let's pretend that we had. I'll comment here. Scenario: you have $100 on the don't, and you win it. So you parlay it up. So you would be at win goes to 200 on the don't, right? Because that's a parlayed win. Then we're in here. Don't pass loses, right? The what should go down here would not be $400 because that $200 was a parlayed win. What this should be is this bet times 2, the original bet that you started with times 2. So, and that could be laddered multiple times. Like I could go, don't pass was $100 and we lose. Pass line goes to $200, we lose. Don't pass goes to $300, we lose. Pass line goes to $400, we win. Parlay it to 800, win the 800, back down to 100. Like that's the
Yeah.
rhythm that you want to be in, which is why that line can be super scary, but also where it kind of works. So coding that piece in is what this part has to look like. So basically it's going to be any loss on either line moves to the other line with double, I'm going to say with double the original I can spell it, original level. I'll say the start level from that bet.
Okay.
Any win is a parlay, or any first win, the initial win. So it's gonna be kind of hard to track, but initial win is a parlay. Parlay win goes all the way to base. A loss equals switch sides plus 1 level. And we have to note that level because you could be at level 3 as you switch, right? And that's how you know where you're going to. So if I go to level 3, I'm on the pass line, we win the pass line, parlays to 600 and we lose it, you go to the don't pass with 400. Does that make sense?
Well,
And so JR is asking, we don't distinguish between point comput. Yeah, this is only on a point resolution, not on a natural win. The natural wins, you don't switch sides on naturals. Naturals, you stay on the side, but the wins, you still parlay them. But the natural win, you stay where you are. And that's going to be the weird part of it.
so you can do this pretty easy if you break it down into segments. And I don't know if you want to go on first and then we come back and talk
Mm-hmm.
about this, but
Yeah.
what I would do is I'd set up one thing like I had that variable to say which side you're betting on. So you just,
Mm-hmm.
one little scenario says, what's my switching case? And
Yep.
then
This is your
you
switch
move
case,
on to
right?
and then you move on to how much you're going to bet. Was it a win? Was it a loss? Was it a natural? Should it be
Right.
doubled? And considering the fact that we're going to have a variable unit size, I would not go with a specific. I wouldn't say 100 goes to 200. I would say units. So however
Yeah.
many units, if you're betting
So
4 units on the pass line and you win
mm-hmm.
and you want to parlay, you're going to go to 8 units. So think in terms of units, not actual dollars.
Right. So if I made a new variable, CS4 line level equals 1. So level 1 is whatever your base unit is, right? Level 2 would be 2 times this, or your bet would be your base unit times this level. So
Right.
as we lose, we increase the level. Does that make sense?
Sure.
And I think you might want to have a tracker that says, am I in a parlay or not?
Well, yeah. You're really always in a parlay, aren't you? How was your thing? You're
Well,
going a parlay
it's a,
on a win. You're not
mhm.
parlaying on a loss, though.
No, you parlay the win. If you win the parlay, you go back to base and you parlay the next one. So it's going to be like parlay, collect, parlay, collect. It's like that rhythm on your wins. So if you have 4 wins in a row, you're going to parlay, collect, parlay, collect.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at is anytime you're betting 4 units on the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anytime you're above 4 units, you're on a parlay.
Anytime you're above, well, but what if the thing is it's your level. If your bet equals, yeah. So if your bet, let's say that we're level. Let's say that the check stack moves. We're at level 4. Let's say. So now I got 4 green chips out there, right? If my level is ever not 1, no, I still don't know that I'm parlay because I could be $100 on the pass line. I win the $100. I'm still at level 4, but I've got 8 units out there because I've parlayed it.
Based upon what you said on the setup, it's 4 units on the line, right? So when you're saying level 1 as if it's 1 unit, well, level 1 that
Right.
would be 4 units.
Right. So if we go, here's what I'm thinking. If we go level 1, right, this bet would be the initial bet is going to be the first bet. The first bet ever is going to be what is your variable called?
Okay,
CS5. No, CS1 unit. It'll be CS1.unit times CS4.level.
Okay.
Line, or I called it line level, right? Line level. That's your first bet.
Okay, so if you lose, do that here, you could end up with the $25 bet on the pass line or the don't pass.
Yep. So to me, the don't pass is always going to be CS1 unit. Ah, crap, my mouse. It'll always be that. And you could say,
I thought you wanted 4 units.
Well, it could be whatever we decide, right? It could be, yeah, regardless of the base size that we start with. Because you could say your base unit size up here, your CS1, you have like a separate unit size for your line bet. The line bet could be 100 and the rest could be 25s. I guess what I'm saying is this. If we say what if we said this? What if we said parlay? Let's play around. I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to try something with you. We'll do a check stack. I'll start here at like 8. 8 will be the line level. And we can say CS7 dot parlay equals 1. And this could be 1 is the base, 2 is we are parlaying. Because then you can say something like this. If I'm down here in the betting area, the line bet is always the unit times the level times, I made that 8, right? Times CS7.parlay. Because that way, if I'm not parlaying, it's going to be unit size times 1 times 1. If I am parlaying, and let's say the parlay goes to 2, then it's unit size times whatever the bet level is times 2. And I get a parlay, and I flip this bit to 1 or 2 every single time. So if I'm parlaying it, it's a 2. If I'm not parlaying it, it's a 1. And that way we know. So you can kind of say something like, if any line bet wins, add 1 to CS7 parlay. Right? And actually, it's this. Line bet wins and CS7 parlay equals 1. Then add 1 to it. Otherwise, both go to 1.
Sure.
That makes sense? Like if I win the parlay, the level goes to 1, the parlay goes to 1, we're back at base. If I lose a parlay, we still have to make the parlay back to 1 again because we're not going to parlay the second time. But that might be a way to kind of indicate to ourselves where we're going.
Yeah. Now, what you're looking at here, this section is just kind of handling some wins and losses. And the actual initial bets I do further down. I think I have a section there called Make Bets.
Sure.
So if you scroll down, you can see it.
Go past the field stuff?
Right.
Okay.
So here I'm saying if the next roll is a come out roll, and then you're using this variable side to say which side is it going to be on. If I'm on the don't side, then I got to determine, well, if there's no don't pass bet out there, I'm starting. Here's where you had said you wanted 4 units. So I'm doing CS unit times 4 on the don't pass. But now we can change it to what you just said there. You do the level and the parlay and all that.
Sure. It can be this piece here, like times all that, right? This could be a thing. All this times the CS. What is it? 7 dot. I forget what I did here. Parlay times CS 8 dot line level. Like that would be your actual bet size, right? Is those numbers right? 7 dot parlay, 8 dot bet level. I always forget my variable names. 7 parlay, 8 is bet level, and it's a line level.
You got quite a bit of math going on there. That's going to be a big bet, I think.
Well, but again, if you don't have a don't pass bet, right, and I'm not parlaying, parlay will be 1. If I'm at level 1, this will be 1. So it's going to be 4 times 1 times 1 is 4. Right. If we had lost on the pass line, the level would be 2. So it'd be CS 4 times, so it'd be $100 times 1, $100 times 2, $200. So that levels you up on the don't pass every time. So that's how we cover the level. And then if it wins, and it's actually it's the same exact routine here, right? This is the same thing for this, right?
So now these are just the initial bets. So
that's the initial bet, right?
Yeah, these aren't handling wins and losses. That's up further.
Right. So when that loss or win happens is when you kind of tickle these two numbers. As losses happen, we have to kind of manage those things as we go. Is that right?
Yeah, it's different. I don't think I would have put quite so many, but you're welcome to do that. Hopefully,
how else could you track if you're parlaying or not? Like, what is your normal way of, if you're trying to code a parlay in here, like it's a one-time parlay, how do you code that in?
Well, if it's a one-time parlay, like I said, you could just go with units. If 4 units is your base bet, anytime you're above 4 units, it's a parlay. Or you set up the variable like you did check stack 7. You can just say it's true or false. You're either on or off a parlay.
Right.
But now you can do it with, as you've done it, is there 1 and a 2? Now the level, when you were putting the level in there at the same time,
because we're laddering the losses. Yeah, because we're laddering the losses up. That's what we have to account for laddering losses.
Right. And you had mentioned 20%. So that's why I got a little bit confused on now you want to put in a level. So
yeah, Waylon wants to go. I'm looking in chat. Waylon wants me to go a full unit on the loss.
Okay.
He wants to go 100, 200, 300, 400. So it's always a 1 full unit on the, which makes the math easier instead of 20%.
So what I would think would be more appropriate here is your variable there, check stack 8, should actually be like the number of units. You're calling it level, that's fine. So inside the parentheses there, it should be check stack 1 dot unit times CS8, number of units, and then times the parlay.
Okay.
So I think that's where we're at.
Yeah. So this is the number. So this line level, I call it line level. That would be the number of. So if I've lost 4 times, this would be a 4, is what I'm picturing, right? Is that what you're saying? The same thing, or am I misrepresenting that?
Well, again, I think you're getting to a higher number than I was thinking about. But if that's what you think you want to go for, 4 units being your base, and then.
Yeah, and if the level is 2, then it's 4 units times 2, so it's 8 units. It's a full poke.
Right.
So this is I'm using this as a multiplier, basically.
Right, but you're multiplying the parlay and the line level, so
Right.
you have to, put some limits on that. Obviously, that thing could get out of control pretty
Oh my
quick.
God. Yeah. Well, we've done it. Well, I did it live one day and I had, I think, $2,800 out there at one point from a $100 bet. Like I laddered that thing
Okay.
to the ceiling and I was really scared. But yeah, we could limit it at some point and say, if the level ever gets to 4, stop. Something
Right.
sane. We can put a ceiling on it. But as far as like getting to the right number, which is in here, which is handling the wins and losses, which is going to be what changes those values as we go here.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
So all you got to do is now you've got your variables, and you can just say what decides to change those variables, and then you just put them all together at the end. That's not a problem. So you say
Right.
a win here switches the sides, a loss here switches the sides,
Yep.
and the level goes up, the level goes down, and when you got all those together, you put them together for bet this times that times that. There you go.
Yep. So in this section here, then you're saying if don't pass, let's logic it out. If don't pass wins, okay, then we say this: if it was a 7 out that won, and this is our don't pass bet one. If it wins on us, because this variable, so people know, this gets toggled to true if you have a come out winner or a lot or a number resolved. Either way, right? So you want to know that if the don't pass wins because it was a 7 out.
So you can put that up there if you wanted. You could say if don't pass wins and 7 out. The reason I do it this way is because I thought you might have something else. That's why it says if 7 out, then, and then else, and then it's empty because I didn't know what you wanted in there.
Right. Well, I'm wondering if it's just as simple as if the don't pass wins, we have money on the don't, we just got to change the levels. Because if the don't pass wins, like let's maybe put some comments here. So if don't pass wins, we can say if the parlay is 1, make it 2. Otherwise, back to 1, right? So the parlay has to toggle itself between a 1 or a 2. So if I was not parlaying, I am going to parlay the next bet. If I was parlaying, I'm back to level 1 of the parlay. And also we can say if parlay was 2, in other words, we hit a parlayed bet, make it 1 and the level back to 1 too.
Sure.
Like those are the two things that if we win, both things have to happen, right?
Yeah. So just write that right now. While you're thinking about it, you can just say if CS7 parlay equals 1,
equals 1,
then CS7 parlay equals 2.
Equals 2.
Next line.
And that's it. And that's all we need there.
Well,
right?
Well, no, next line. And else. Next line. Else CS7 parlay equals 1. And now you also said you want to go to level 1 here also. So then do colon.
Yeah.
Next
if the parlay was 2. So then this else will be the parlay was 2. Right. So the parlay is 1, and then also CS8 line level.
Right.
Equals 1.
Goes to 1. There you go.
So that covers all the cases, right? That says if we were not parlaying, we're going to parlay. If we were parlaying, we're not anymore, and we go all the way back to base. That covers these two cases.
Right.
Okay. So if the don't pass loses, this is where it's loses and it was a 7 out. This is when we switch sides.
Okay, so let's clean this
up.
Can
I do like a point resolved or something? Is there a variable for that? Point resolved?
Get rid of that green commentary there because we already cleared that out. Right underneath okay. Don't pass wins.
Yep.
And then let me just ask you now, don't pass wins. We're never switching sides. It always stays the same, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We only switch when we lose. Okay.
That's right.
All right. So
else,
if the don't pass loses, we only switch when it's a point loser?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so naturals we're going to ignore. Okay, so then, yeah, you put on there, if don't pass loses and it was a 7 out. Or not a 7, I mean a point, if point was decided.
And so you say don't pass loses and, is it point is decided?
point is decided 4, and then you can just put
Well,
all
wouldn't
the
that point is
numbers.
decided is all you need, right? That's just is that not kind of a catch-all?
Yeah, I think you can do that.
I think it's a catch-all.
Yeah.
So if don't
Let me
pass
double
loses
check.
and point is decided, then you're going to do your thing up here, which is the
Well,
side, cs2.side, right? Then you're going to say, then cs2 side equals 1, which is the do side, and add 1 to cs8 line level. And just for grins, cs7.parlay equals 1. So we go back to no parlaying, we're switching sides, and we're going to level up.
okay.
Okay. Because that will cover us down here because the next roll would be a come out roll, which gets you into this section here. If next roll is a come out roll, all this would catch all that.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that
I
covers that
would.
case right there, right?
Yeah, I would try to make sure. I mean, you can mix these things around, but as we were saying yesterday, the more organized you can be, the better it's going to be.
Yeah.
So if we have a
Yep.
section up here that's strictly going to handle the variables of parlay,
Mm-hmm.
side, and level, and then you'll put them all together down at the bottom where you make the bets.
Yeah.
So now you got the don't pass covered, and I assume now you're going to have to say what happens on the pass line.
Copy the whole thing and just do it again, right? Is that what you would do
If
here? Just make
that's
it if pass line wins.
well, you're the guy who knows what rules you want to use, so you'll
Yeah,
have to
it's
tell
the
me.
same. It's the same rules, but in reverse, right? The pass line wins, then it's all the same. Else, if pass line loses and point is decided, then it's again CS1 side goes to 0. That's the only difference. Everything else is the exact same, but the side switch is different. The code is the exact same,
Okay.
just what side you're going to be on. So don't pass or pass line wins, all the same stuff happens.
Okay.
It's if the pass line loses and point is decided.
There you go.
That's the one difference, right? And really, we could make this more efficient and say, if don't pass wins or pass line wins, all the others. But for now, this is fine to keep the two blocks the same, I think.
Right. And that's what I was saying yesterday too. You try to get it so perfect right off the bat, and you end up spending all day on one line.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
get the
So for now,
get yeah, get the framework in, and then we can make it
yep,
more efficient later.
that logic looks like it works pretty good. We can test this logic out really quick. Let me save this. Let me check it, make sure I didn't screw anything up. Pass lines. I love your debugger. Okay, we're good. I'm going to save this actually. So we can test out just the line piece and see if ignore the field stuff and just watch the line bets change sides and change shape. Is that okay if I do that real quick?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So I'm going to come back out here and we're going to initialize the script and get this person going. So we're going to go active and say, yeah, we're active.
Oh, just a
And
comment here. Hey, John, can I make a comment
yeah,
here?
go for it. Go for it.
Um, you've already got it active here, and now you don't have to reactivate it on this screen every time. Once you've got it active, when you want to start something new on the main game table, you say game new. The act of going to new will reinitialize your script for you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's just to save you a couple steps.
Sure. All right. So I'm not seeing any line bet at all. We activated the script. I see no line bet. What's going on?
All right. Let's see. Because you
So
entered
down in
in.
here is make bets. When's make bets being called?
Well, you're kind of going
Don't
quick there. I
pass
can't see where we're
wins.
at.
Field wins. So we're not in a field win.
Right.
Make bets should be down here.
Right. So his next roll, come out roll. I can't see the table.
It should be right. Oh, you know what? I'm still in. I'm on some weird old point.
So go
Let
up
me
to
set.
game and start new, and then that'll start us
Oh,
all fresh.
I just 7'd it out. All right. So we're 7'd out. We're on the don't pass.
Okay.
Okay. We start off on the don't. Let's simulate some wins. Ready? Let's have some fun. Let's
Sure.
do a come out winner. This should parlay the bet to $200. It doesn't. We took the $100 as a win, right? Let me see here. One bet 100. We took the win, but it's not parlaying. So let's try and figure out why is it not parlaying. how would you troubleshoot this? I have my way, but what would you have me do? Because we're not getting our parlay to happen.
Okay, so we started out, it went down, so the next roll is, you're gonna have to go back to that page.
Yeah, I'm looking at the check sacks too. So they're both set to 1. This is 7 is the parlay,
Well,
and 8 is the level. So the level should be at 1. The parlay should be at 2 after a win, though, right? So if I come in here and I simulate a win with a 2, I would expect the parlay. It does. It goes to 2. Okay. So why is our bet still at 100 instead of 200?
well, let's look through the code. I
Yeah,
just
let's
walked
find
through.
out.
Okay, so you're going down here, if don't pass wins. If
Mhm.
CS7 parlay equals 1, it was. Then go to 2.
goes to
It
2.
is now on 2. Then it
Mhm.
drops down to the next group there of pass line wins. That's not a factor. Pass line loses. Well, there wasn't a bet there, so that's not a factor.
Right.
Field wins.
Okay.
That's not a thing. Go all the way down. If next roll is a come out roll, it is. Side is don't pass. That's true. Don't pass equals 0. Then make that bet. Well, it's not 0.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So that's how I usually walk it through visually. And if it's
Mhm.
too hard to find it, then I can turn on the show steps thing and walk it through
Okay.
slowly.
Ooh, so I have an idea here. The don't pass is not 0, it's 100. So this is not getting done. Could that be fixed by saying, instead of same bet, saying take bet? If you take
Oh,
the
you
bet
can-
down, it'll be necessarily 0 and get reset again.
Well, you can do that. I mean, you can do either way and build your whole script around that. However, based on what you wanted to do with the field bet, that same bet is going to be very helpful. So I wouldn't change that.
Okay. Should we not have this in here then? Does this?
That's just
We
saying
need.
all that's just saying is that if there's no bet, make the bet. Because I didn't know how you
Right.
wanted to work the parlays. You can just comment that out for now and just
Yeah, I
say,
think
hey,
we.
if it's this side, make
I think
this
yeah.
bet.
If it's,
That's it.
I think the side is the side, right? Let's do that. And so the
Right.
pass line, if CS side 0, this could just be an else, right? Just a
Right.
straight up else, right? Else. Let's try that.
Yeah, there you go.
So file, save, and you want me to do a new game, right? Game new.
Right.
Okay. No. Okay.
Oh,
let's try it here.
did you download that latest version I mentioned?
I did not. I did not.
Oh, okay.
This is still the one
'Cause
from yesterday.
I changed it so it saves all those checkboxes for you.
You are awesome. Thank you. What else I asked you to yesterday? Side note, everybody, on the bankroll screen, I would love to be able to put this in like make that an option in my script, like in the initialize area.
Well, you kind of
Like-
do. You just all you have to do is say beginning bankroll equals last bankroll, or last session bankroll. Excuse me.
Okay, so the new session doesn't wipe that out. That's what I was
Only
worried
if
about it wiping out.
Yeah, no. If you start a new game, you say game new, and you don't check the box to say preserve previous sessions, yeah, then it will wipe it out.
Okay. Okay. All right, here we go. You ready? Let's make this don't pass, make some money. Let's go. So now I think we're gonna be good, right? It parlays it. Booyah. If I hit it again, we should win the parlay and go back to 100. Bang. That works. If I lose on a come out 7, we stay at level. We don't ladder up on these losses. So that's working perfect. If I go to a point of 5, we'll take care of the field later. And I hit the 5. Now the don't pass should lose. We should switch to the pass line and be laddered up. Boom. Ladders it up. Come out winner should parlay it to 400. A come out winner should get us back to 100. Oh my God. How cool is that?
Is that what you wanted?
That's what I wanted.
All right.
Woo! Okay, let's actually set a point. Let's set a point of 4, hit a point of 4, make sure it ladders up. I want to set a point of 4, hit a point of 4. No.
That just meant
Auto bet.
you were clicking before the auto betting was done.
Clicking too fast. It's still going.
Oh, I think it might have got stuck in a little loop there.
Yeah. All right. I'll stop it. Yes. Okay, let's hit the point of 4. starting new session. Oh, we want our bankroll. Let's do it again. So
Right.
point of 4, hit the point of 4, back down to base. That's exactly what you want. That works. That line play works perfect. That's the Baccarat. Frankly, this right here is Waylon's Baccarat line strategy, what we just wrote. Like we could pull that out and make that a new script called the Baccarat line, which is a way that we play all the time. That's great. Now walk me through your field win, because this is where it gets a little bit nutty. Because the line or the box bets are easy. They're just going to be same bet, right? That's how you feed the rack, right? Box bets just feed the rack. That's the same bet. So the field is where you go and have to really get into Waylon's head here, right? What do we do? So the kitty is the last one in the field. Okay.
So the field obviously can win 1 unit, 2 units, or if you're on a table that pays a triple 12, you can pay 3 units. And you're not sure what's going to hit. But you want to be able to take that money and make your place bets with it. Now, I made an assumption, I might be wrong, but I made an assumption that you want to bet 1 unit on as many bets as you can. So if you were mentioning if you had a $15 bet and it was on a $10 table, you could only make 1 bet. But if it was a $75 bet, you could make 3. So what you do is you shovel all that money into a check stack, and I'm just calling it kitty. So that's the amount of money I've got available to put on to some place bets. Then I'm starting a loop. I'm saying do, that starts a loop. And it says, okay, if the kitty is less than 1 unit, then we're done. We've used all that we can, and then it goes on and it exits the loop.
Okay.
Then I'm setting another variable. I'm saying, what's the lowest of all the bets I've got out there? And I'm including, this is the thing that makes it a little bit complicated, is that we're mixing buy bets and place bets. If you want to ignore the buy bets now and just do place bets, it would probably make it easier, but I included both of them. So I'm saying, okay, of all those bets, buy bets and place bets, the ones that are greater than 0, which is the lowest one? And that's going to give me a value.
Okay.
Then I go in and I test. I say, I start on the inside. I'm starting with a place 6. And I'm saying, is it the point? If it's the point, we're not going to bet it, right? We're going to move on. But if it's not the point and there's no bet there, then I want to put a bet there. So now I bet 1 unit on place 6. And now I subtract the amount from the kitty. Now I put in the function round only because if you set a unit size that's not correct for the bet, this will correct for it. If you know your units are going to be correct, then you could take the round statement out of there.
Okay.
So
no, that's great. So this is the way you make your bets right, by the way, for 6 and 8. Like just so folks know, I do this all the time, right? That's the way you get your unit correct when you're doing, because you're going to subtract it. You got to subtract that amount from your kitty, like what you're going to bet, because add 1 unit automatically makes it $6. Subtracting will not subtract $6 unless you do this. Right. And you can get into some weird bankroll bleeds if you don't get that right. That's a really important call out there, Steen.
So if the 6 had a bet on it, it drops down and looks at the 8 and does the same thing. Hey, is 8 open and it's not the point? Okay, then bet that one. If those are both covered, then it drops down to the 5, then it drops down to the 9. And then it looks at the 4 and it says, well, we got to look at both the place and the buy and see if they're both 0. Sure. And then what we'll do is we'll make a place bet. And if the place bet ends up being more than $20, there's some lines lower down, which will convert it to a buy bet. Okay. So that's the initial thing. It runs through all 6 of those, and it prioritizes the inside bets, moves the outside bets, and fills them up. Once they're all full, once they're all full, it's going to drop down to the next section. Scroll up,
which is down in here, right?
Right.
This is going through. Okay.
Then you press up lowest bets. Can you see in green there where it says press up lowest bets? Yep. So this is starting the second session. It's still all part of the same logic loop, the else if. Now it says, okay, if the point is not equal to 6 and the 6 is equal to the CS4 lowest, remember we computed which bet is the lowest one. So it's going to go through and find out which one is the lowest bet. Well, I want to put money on that one. So if it's the 6, great, put it on the 6, subtract it from the kitty, go through the loop again, and keep going through the loop until we've used up all of the kitty.
Wow. Okay. So if we look at this play out, let me 7 us out here. let's see. Why are the bets still there?
Let's see, where are we at?
I set a point of 4. We got our field bet. These should be gone though. Like if we 7 out right now, all the bets should go away.
Yeah, we might not
There we
have
go.
done anything. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it might just be me. So let's do a point of, let's do an outside
Oh,
point.
tell
Point
you
of
what,
4.
just so we don't confuse ourselves, do a game new
Sure.
here so we get everything
Okay.
cleaned up.
Sure. Game new. Okay. Nope. And we'll undo all this mess. Say okay. Okay. Game new. Let's make a point of 4. And we'll ignore that. We know the line works. Sorry. So we have, let's do a field win. Actually, I'll do a lot. Let's get a 5. Let's make sure the 5 pays 175. We get a $100 win. We're back in the field. So we know that we're okay there. Right? If I hit a 4, which is a field number, or no, I'll hit a 10, which is a field number. I'll hit a 10. So we get paid $75. And what it did was what? It put 50 to the 9 and 25 to the 10.
So it started, what it really did is it went through and it said, started with the inside numbers. It looked at the 6 and the 8. Oh, they already got bets. It looked at the 5. It's got a bet. It looked at the 9 and said, aha, it put $25 on the 9 because we said
and it did that because it was the lowest bet. Is that what happened?
No,
so it went to, let's follow the logic here. So 6 is 0. It's not. These are all not 0. So it skips down to here, right?
No.
And it's,
no.
Right?
Go back up. Go back up.
Oh, it did the 9. The 9 was not. The 9 was 0.
So it bet 1 unit on the 9.
Yeah.
Then it went down to the loop, and it came back
again
the second time. And then the second time it said, oh, the 4 is a point. We can't do that. The other ones have bets. It goes to the 10. It says, oh, now put 1 unit on the 10.
Cool. Okay. I see it.
And now the third time it comes through.
The point is not. Hold on. I want to follow up. The point is not 6. Point is not 8. Point is not 5. Point is not 9. And then it goes and says, okay, the place 4 0 by 4 0, and the point is not 4. Okay. That's why it goes to the 9 first. It found, okay, the point wasn't 9 and the 9 was 0. It drops a unit onto the 9.
Right.
Then the whole loop finishes, right? It goes all the way down to the end, comes back up, right? If place 4 is greater than 20, which it wasn't, loops a second time through, right?
Don't look
Is that what happens?
Okay, those things that say place 4 greater than 20, that's outside of the loop. Don't look at that yet. That's later.
Right. It would, but the 4 is still 0, or the 10 is still 0 at that point. So then you would say the second time in the loop, our kitty would be 50 instead of 75.
Right.
And it does the same logic. It does all this. It says, hey, the 9 is not 0, so it skips this part. Now the 4 is the point, and then the 10 is 0.
Right.
And then it goes and puts $25 on the 10.
Right.
Then it comes down to the bottom of the loop and it goes, hey, wait a minute, 10 is greater than 20, so we have to buy it.
Okay. No, not yet.
Right?
Not yet. Do you see the statement above there that says loop?
Oh, this is when the whole thing is done, not each iteration.
Right.
Got you. Okay. So now the kitty would have one more unit in it. We used up $50.
So loop goes back up to the do.
Yep.
And now it recomputes what's the lowest one. And now it goes through again. And now the first section there all have bets on or the point. So the first section is ignored. It goes to the second section.
So the 9 is not 0. So now it goes down to here. And it gets into this line.
It goes through. Right. Now it's looking at which one is the lowest.
Not 9. It is the lowest. Add 1 to the 9. Remove. Now the kitty will be 0 after this line of code runs. The kitty is going to be 0.
Right.
And so that's important because you're due until the kitty is less than the unit size, which is 0. So now it's going to stop the loop. Right.
Right.
And then you're down. Now you finally get to down here.
So it's a little verbose. Yeah, you're right. And when the loop is all done, now you say, okay, were there place bets above $20 or at or above? And now it's worth buying them. So go ahead and buy them.
And then it buys it. Okay, that's how that works. That's pretty cool. So if we do another field win, we should see 75, 50, 100 is what should happen.
Well, the first 25 will go to the 10. The first
25 to
10.
here.
The second 25 will go to the 9, and then the third one will go to
back to the 10. Okay, let's see it. Let's do a field number. Let's do an 11. So they go to 75. I'm going to keep doing that. Now they're even again. So the first one goes to the 9, then it goes to the 10, and then it goes to the 9 again, right? No, it goes
No,
back to the 10. They should be,
right.
the 10 should
It
level
looks at
up here.
whatever. It looks at whatever's
Yeah.
the lowest.
Okay. That'll be, yep. The 9 gets to 120. Now we're going to get into a fun spot here because right now, 5 and 9 are equal. The 10's about to get pumped up though. So if I do another 11, it's going to favor the 10 all the time, no matter what, right? There's no way. Oh, the 5 got leveled up that time too. See that? The 5 got leveled up. Because this time it gives a quarter to the 10. It still has $50 left. So it goes to the 5, I guess, right?
Right, because
so if I do
it looks at the 6 and 8 first. It says, well, they're already at 150. Then it goes to the 5 and 9, and then it says, oh, we can get something here.
Check this out. So if I go to 11, the 5, now the 8 went up to 180.
The 6 went up.
Or the 6 rather, yeah, it went to 180. 11 again. The 8 goes to 180, and the 5 got some money. This is pretty cool. This is exactly pretty much how I would play it. I mean, essentially, you're spreading money around. It almost doesn't matter where it goes. You're just spreading it around, and you're doing it very evenly, which is super cool.
So it fills the empty spots first, and then it fills the lowest bets.
That's great. I wouldn't change much about that at all, actually. I wouldn't change much at all. That's actually super. Now, again, at some point, we're going to get a box number to win. Let's take a 10 or something. And now that because a 10 is so high, we hit our goal. The session starts over again, and we're back down to the starting, to the brand new session, $100 on the don't, and we start the whole thing over again.
Right. Now, if you hadn't hit your goal there, there's no win coding or no scripting on the winning place numbers. So it just goes to your rack. Which is, I think what you wanted.
Yeah. But now, just for grins, can we do it? Let's do a game new. I do not want to save my session. I don't want to save these things. I'm going to rerun the dice. Let's run the red cross against my rolls, my 6,000 rolls. You ready to see what happens?
Sure.
Is it a winner or is it a loser? That's the big question. Start the hyperdrive and we'll just see what goes on here. Oh, I got the check stack screen opened up. I got to close that.
You know, it might have, so we need to troubleshoot. It could be that the fact that this loop is in there.
It could be. Yeah, it could be an infinite loop. The roll counter is not changing though.
Right. Yeah, go ahead and interrupt that and interrupt the auto betting. Yeah, we got stuck in a loop here. So we need to troubleshoot a little bit, but I think the basic structure is there.
Yeah. Well, it got stuck in the first time. Oh, you know what it probably is? When you're buying the bets, is it because of the VIG or something? Making the value weird?
I'm not sure offhand here. Look at the value of a check stacks right now. We got 1 is 25, 2 is what was the 2 again? That was the side.
Yep. 4 is what's in the kitty, right? No, the kitty is not 4. The kitty is what? What is the kitty?
Kitty was
4. You set as something somewhere. 4 is the lowest. The lowest bet is 50. 9 is our loss percentage. It only got about 10 rolls in, it looks like.
Okay, you didn't reset anything here yet, did you?
No.
Okay, in that case, try and turn on the show steps and hit the dice. Just manually roll it one time. See what it does.
Pick like a 5 or something. All right, we're not initializing. We're not here. Oh, we are here. Bankroll is whatever. Okay. Update the thing. Start a new session. The bets are all still out here, right? All the bets are still there.
It hasn't started a new session yet.
Yeah.
You're still on check stack 9.
Okay.
Now
Start new session. Okay. Next. It does the initialize. It does all this. It's false, of course, because we're starting over again. If the don't pass wins, else if don't pass loses. Okay. Pass line wins. Pass line loses. Okay, of course that would be false. We're starting new. The field didn't win. And we're making our bets. Okay, so that worked out fine.
Okay. So you know what? I wonder if, I put that little show message in there when I was testing something. You can comment that out. That might have been what stopped us.
Oh,
So
would that stop hyperdrive?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay,
Well, if you have messages turned on, if you have them turned
Okay.
off, it should ignore it. But
I don't think I
just
did.
comment it out. We won't have to worry about it.
Where is that?
Go up further. Yeah,
Oh, right
right
here.
there with your bankrolls. You're testing your bankroll. Show
Mhm.
message, start new session. There you go.
Okay, let's try that. So now we'll do another file save, game new. Nope. Okay, here we go. Oh. Alrighty, let's go. Ah, there we go. Oh, see, it stopped again. It's whatever this roll is happening here, it's stopping on that roll.
Right. So we got to figure out
There's something weird.
what it's doing there. So
Something
look at our
weird.
check stacks again, just to see if there's something we can tell what's going on.
We're at 50 on the thing. What is 3? 3 is
3 is the kitty.
okay.
So it looks like there's some money there in the kitty. So it's probably stuck in that loop in there. The field wins.
What? So $3. So the kitty is $3, right? That's because of VIGs and stuff, probably, right? So the kitty is below the unit size.
Kitty is showing 25 right now.
The kitty is number 3. Oh, I'm looking at the other one. Kitty is $25. Okay. No. Maybe I want to do this. Option show steps. So it's not there. That's false. That's false. That is false. What is the lowest? Lowest is number 3, right? $25.
Lowest is number 4.
Okay. That's false. That's false. Not 5. 9 is not it. 4 is not it. 10. So everything's coming up false. End of the block. That's false. So nothing is coming up true. That's the problem. That's weird.
Yeah, it is. It's not coming out of the loop. So we have to see.
So what is the point? The point is 10. The point is 10. All right. Point is 10.
So CS4 is the lowest. That's 50. So look at your bets up there, and if that's
it should be 75. Yeah. No,
50 is the lowest. Oh, okay, I can see what the problem is right now.
Okay.
We did something where we ended up having a bet on the 10, but the 10 is the point.
Yes, and it's 50. Okay, how did that happen?
Right.
I wonder if it carried over from the previous shooter. That's probably what happened. Is the previous shooter?
Yeah,
if you had bets on it,
I have a feeling it's probably a matter of this place bet and buy bet combination here. So we have to be very meticulous about looking at the point.
Mm-hmm.
So I would look at the first section first, where we're looking just to put money on open bets.
Mm-hmm.
No, not this section, the one above it.
Okay.
I would look at that first. So we're just saying if anything has no bet on it and it's not the point, then you make a bet on it and you subtract from the kitty. I think that's probably good. So look at the place 10. If that's 0 and the buy 10 is 0 and the point is not 10.
I wonder, Steen, if what's going on is this. What if in this situation, let's just play this out in our minds, right? Let's pretend that if I just take this off, right? like we should have. I just
Yeah.
delete the bet. Let's say that we hit the we hit the point.
Right.
Play it out. Hit the point. Everything clears away. See, that's what's weird. It all clears away. I wondered if the bet stayed up there somehow. You know what I'm saying? Like a point of 5. And let's have a field number. Hit the point of 5. Set a point of 10. And see what happens is it doesn't take the bet. Like these, that's what's going on. We have to, when we set a new point, we have to take the bet off the point.
Yeah, good point. So, okay, so just put that in.
And that's why we got stuck on there. So, okay.
You can just put that down at the bottom section there where we had make bets. You can just say remove, place, parentheses, point. And just to cover it, in case there's a buy bet, you can say remove by, parentheses, point.
Up here, just say, so above all this,
No,
you
no,
think?
no. Go all the way down to the bottom where we're having a make bet section.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So down,
right
I would
in
say
front here?
Even after all that stuff. No, after all the bets are made.
Okay.
I mean, you could probably put it there too. I'm just saying that just when all is said and done, we'll just kind of a catch-all.
Remove place point.
Right.
Like that.
Right. And then
remove.
You can just say comma, buy point.
Like this?
Yeah.
Really? Didn't know you could do that. That's cool. Okay. Remove the place and the buy. All right. Let's save that.
Do a check script.
Yeah. There it is. Okay.
Right. All right.
So let's just simulate what we just did. Let me hit the point. Let me 7 out actually. Okay. We'll do a point of 5. We'll hit a field number. We'll hit the point. We'll set a point of 10. That should clear that out. Now we're going to be okay.
Right now, let's try and hit a number. It should fill the 5 first.
Sure. Let's hit a 4. It does. It never fills the 10. So we should be out of the loop problem. Okay, cool. Let's save that. Let's save it. Game new. Yes, save my script. No, don't save the session. Rewind and play it back. And let's go hyperdrive and shit, it stops in the same spot again.
Well, we might have another thing there.
See what's happening. Again, we got money on the point.
Yeah. Okay, so we know what the issue is. We got to work on that.
Did I not save it? I saved the file, right?
I thought you did.
Yes, stop auto betting.
Let's see. I don't think we have any go to ends, do we? It's not like we're bypassing that message there.
Right.
Or, I mean, that command.
Wonder if like the first thing we should do is take the point off every single time.
Yeah, you could try that. Try that.
The very first move we make on anything is get rid of the point. So like way up in here, even like just if it's ever there, just get rid of it.
Right.
Let's save that. Let's do game new. There we go.
Hey, there you go.
Okay, let's see if we make any money. I got a feeling we're not going to make any money. The suspense is killing me. Okay, dice roll file. Let's see how did we do? Oh my God, we lost $1,000. Lost $1,000. That's it? That ain't bad. Is that total of all the sessions we ever ran, or
no?
Is this going to tell me a different story?
That's the current session. That's the very last one.
Oh my God! So the last session we lost $1,000. That sucks. All right, how do we do? Let's see the percentages won or lost. So we won 185 times, 184. We lost 125. So we are at 60% win rate, which isn't awful. And there's all the percent. This is check stack 9. This is all the win percentages. 20% wins, 25% wins. Right, that's exactly what it should be. If we go to the most important screen, the dollar of bets won or lost net. $1,200 won, $900 won, big losses, right? So what does
I
this mean?
mean,
We lost $50,000. Is that what that means?
so you were saying your loss limit was 33% of 5,000. So that's, what
Yep.
is that, around 1,700 bucks?
Yeah, that's about what we're doing. The losses are
Yeah.
all correctly sized, and the wins
Yeah.
are all correctly sized. They're about $1,000 or so, right?
So hit the
Everything
histogram. I
is
want to see
good.
what that looks like.
Yeah. Wow. Look at this. That we really lose $60,000.
Yeah. There you go. There's your two extremes now. There's your loss
Yeah.
limit to the left and
Lot.
your win goals to the right.
Yep.
And the median there, the mean you see
Mhm.
is that red line. It's red because it's a negative.
Yep.
So
So
the
on the
zero line
average,
is actually to the right of that
right. So on the average, we're losing $200 per shooter, or $200 per
per
session.
per session.
Right. That's actually, you know what? That's what you'd expect, I guess, right? That's about the house edge when you think about it. $5,000, that's about the house edge, which is, hey, imagine that
Yeah.
math works, right?
Yeah. How about that?
How about that, right? That's cool, man. I love this. That was a fun session right there, Steen.
Yeah.
Everybody should know, if you want to be a computer programmer, that's exactly what your day looks like. I sit next to people all day long when I was coding for a living, and we just bounced it back and forth like that. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Let's try it. And it worked itself out in the end. All right, show me how to, because I want to run this now against random. Show me how to. This will be fun actually. Game. If I do a game new, I don't want to save it. I want to say continue playback at. That will make it go to random number generator, right?
No. Did you want to get rid of the dice roll file?
Yes, I'm gonna play it against RNG. So if I
Okay,
just
then
if I say,
uncheck the box.
let's see, no,
So there's a box here for dice roll file. Just uncheck that box. There you go.
Okay. Now we're going to be on the RNG. And I think if I go to, I think I had this set up to the bankroll screen. I think I set it to stop at 5,000 rolls. Let's do 5,000 rolls on the RNG straight up.
Okay.
And look at the one thing to notice about this thing. Look, the graph never goes past like 100 rolls, like, or 10, 15 rolls. It's like you're in and you're out. See that?
Well, I
like,
think you've still got your auto bets going.
yeah, we're auto betting it, right? But we're gonna go, oh, you know what's gonna never stop because we'll never hit 5,000 rolls. Right?
Did you just want to run 5,000 rolls without the betting, without the script?
I want to run this 5,000 rolls like we just did. But it's not going to keep track of the rolls because they keep resetting on the new session.
Okay, so you can put that in your script then. You can say when you hit, when the number of rolls, all sessions equals 5,000, then stop.
And that would be like the last thing right here.
You could put it down there. You could put it up at the top. I tend to put that kind of thing towards the top, but
okay. Let
me
give me that again. That's I didn't know that was a thing. Right at the top. So we can go above that even. So if
number of rolls and put the pound sign. That's
number of rolls.
All sessions. Equals 5,000. Then you can put in the stop, hyperdrive, auto roll, hyperdrive, whatever. You go down to actions. You can find it
okay.
there.
Then.
So click on down below at the very bottom where it says actions, and it says bet X on Y. Click on bet X on Y, and then go up and you find where it says stop auto rolling / hyperdrive. It's right in the middle. Okay. Now click on the button that says actions. And now you go click where you want that to appear, and it'll go right into your script.
Get out of here! I didn't know that was a thing. Look at that. Okay.
And then do an end.
So that will be our stop, right?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I take that back. You're going to have to say go to end, otherwise it will drop right into your script. So say stop auto roll hyperdrive, go to end, then you're done.
Okay, sweet. Thank you for that. Let's save that. File save. Let's do a game new. Save it now. No. Okay. And let's run it again. This should stop in 5,000 rolls.
Right. Now you're seeing all the little individual sessions, but when a cumulative gets to 5,000.
Those tiny, which is interesting, the tiny number of sessions, this is not going to be a strategy where you play at the table very long. You can see this. It's going to be like you're in and you're out. You're going to lose or you're going to win quick.
Right. Right. Now, if you get tired of looking at this, of course, you're closing the screen will speed it up for you.
Sure. Oh, it's fun to watch the heartbeats, though.
Yeah.
I could probably up the rolls per hour to like 1,000 too, and make it go super quick, right?
Well, the rolls per hour there, that's just a number. So you can simulate how many hours
Mm-hmm.
you're at the table. That really doesn't change the speed. The speed is a function of your computer and how much you're demanding of it. When you have any graphics screens open like this one, it takes time to write the graphics. So that's why if you close it, that will speed it up.
Yeah, it seems like it should be done by now, though, huh?
It'll be done in just a minute now that you closed it. I noticed you the other day were having a check stack screen open in order to slow it down, which that's
Yeah.
fine. It does slow it down. But the
I
more
could
of
use
those
that
screens you
toggle
have
switch
open,
too.
yeah,
I could slider that thing too, right, to make it slower.
yeah. So
That's
now,
really going for a long time.
just out of curiosity, click on the table and stop the hyperdrive, and let's look at the sessions log and see where we're at. Statistics, sessions log, and number of roles. No, there you go. Go up to number of roles and data.
3,500.
Look at data. So we're up to 134,000. So we did something wrong. Well,
Yeah,
we
it
might
went.
have already been past 5,000 when we put that statement in there.
Oh, true. Yeah, let's do a game new. Preserve session
Either that or we
logs.
messed something else up. But that's the idea. That's how it works.
Okay. All right, so let's do it again, really quick. Let's do another statistics. Bankroll. Go. Oh, got it. Why is it going so slow? Do I have something open? Oh, I have this screen opened up.
Oh yeah, that one will really slow it down
Yeah,
because that
it's
has to
doing a
do a
bunch
lot of
of.
calculating.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, close that one and that'll speed it up too.
It's still going.
No, it's done. Or no, you
I
clicked on
want
it.
to
That's right.
stop. I clicked on it. Yeah. If I say
Okay.
no, it's still going. Now if I stop it, statistics, 173,000 rolls.
Oh, okay. Well, we
I
did
wonder
something
if it should
wrong
be just
there.
great. We just do greater than or equal to.
No, it should be able to do it on equal, but I'm trying to think here. No, I don't remember all sessions. That should work just fine. I don't know why it's doing that. But I don't
Well,
want to
it's look
waste
at
too
this.
much of your time here if you want to look at
It's
that
still at
probability.
173,000. It never cleared this out.
Okay, it does not get the number of rolls off the sessions log, so you can clear that out or not. It shouldn't. When you said new, it will clear it out for you. But
Okay.
there's a variable in there that keeps track of number of rolls for all sessions. It's separate from the sessions log.
Okay. Because I want to see what this
See, if
did.
you
No,
go down and you go select new,
new from
game
where?
new, from the
Game
game
new.
menu. And then uncheck the boxes, preserve and preserve. Yeah, there you go. You keep your scripts, of course. Okay, now look at the sessions log.
That'll
Should all
be
be empty.
I'll be empty, right? So if I go to number
Yeah.
of rolls, 0. Okay. So if we go and do the run again,
Yeah,
close this
close that
down.
sessions log screen. That'll slow it down.
Bankroll, and we'll do it again. Boom. I'm sorry, we're boring you, Dr. Dan. We're going through this is what we do, though, right? This is how you get better at stuff, right? There we go. Now it stopped. Sweet.
Okay.
All right, now let's look at the thing. Statistics. We lost. How much we lose? We did. If we look at the dollars, the net dollars, we lost $1,200. That's not bad.
Average.
5,000 rolls, right?
No, that's not.
Okay.
What was the average there? I can't see. 5 something?
Where's the average?
Mean.
The mean is 5.14.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. Okay. Really quick, let's go. I want to go here. I want to do something fun. Let's go to game probability. Show me how to make dice influence happen. If I go to probability, how do I change this to be a DI?
Okay, so it all depends upon your theory of the dice. You can set this up a number of different ways. Some of them I think are logical and some are illogical, but you can do it as you please. When you enter any number into a combination, it will automatically refigure the other combinations so that it can't ever be more than 100%, right?
Sure.
So if I want to do something that I think is logical, I would only change the values at the bottom where it says die 1 and die 2.
Oh, okay.
And if you change numbers up above, that's fine. But like I say, you may have a different theory of how the dice are influenced or how they are affected by various factors, and you can do that. But when you do it down on the sides, think about if you look at a dice and the opposite sides add up to 7, and you were to roll those dice such as they roll around that axis, and they would strike a wall and rebound and remain around the same axis, then those two numbers that define the axis will be reduced in frequency, right? So you could come in here then and say, okay, the 1 and the 6 are opposite of each other, so let me change those values to something less. Right now, you're displaying these as number of rolls out of 36. You can show it as percentage. Maybe
Sure.
that might be a little easier. So 16.67% is the probability for any one side of the dice, right?
Yeah.
So you could say, well, I think I can roll them around an axis and I can reduce the probability maybe down to, let's say, 14%. So you can reduce the 1 to 14 and the 6 to 14.
And the 6 to 14, okay.
And
and I see it spreads them out in the middle there. Okay.
And then see, it has readjusted the values then for 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
Now you could do it for both dice if you like.
Sure, let's do it for both dice. What the heck, right? Make them both. I can hide the 1 or the 6 more often than not.
Now it has recomputed everything, including the numbers up the top. You can see it's changed those values. Now, to make it a little easier to look at the very those radio buttons, the very bottom one, it says show as plus or minus from true rolls.
Okay.
Click that. Now you can see which numbers have increased in frequency and which ones have decreased in frequency.
Wow, so it actually makes more 7s doing that. Look at that.
And now there's a little tool that you can help you do this also. At the top here where it says options. Click on that. Compute percentage dice. Now you do basically the same thing. You say, okay, how effective am I at maintaining the dice around the axis and rebounding? And so you could say, well, I guess I'm 50% effective.
Okay.
So you put 50% maybe for both dice. And then you could say, well, which axis are you going to use? Maybe you're going to set it up for the 1-4, the 1-6, and then the 2-5 on the other die.
Let's do it. Oh, I see. Oh, that's like if you're doing a weird set. Okay.
This is your setup, your dice setup.
Sure, your dice set. Sure.
The flying wedge or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And then you say accept.
I get it.
And now it
reduce the
recomputes. You can
7s.
see that at the bottom the numbers have changed. And all the
more
numbers
5s and 6s
also.
So more inside numbers, less 7s. Yeah, more inside numbers, less 7s. Less field numbers, which is cool. Interesting. Yeah. All right. So if I just leave this as it is,
you can look at those and find out, well, if it is in fact true that somebody can throw them in such a way that they would maintain somewhat of an axis and it can influence a little bit, well, then you can see which one
Mhm.
would have the greatest influence on which dice
Yeah.
set would be best. Then you can use that.
So if I activate this, now
Okay.
I go and run the do a game new. Will it keep this inactive for me if I do game new?
Yes.
All right.
If you're running a dice roll file, of course, will take precedence. But you're doing an
Sure, sure.
RNG, so it'll use those values now.
I'm going to say save the values. Yes. I'm going to call this one Steen Axis. So I'm going to save that as a thing. Do I want to save it now? No. Okay. Lou, let's have some fun. Let's see what happens here. Let's run the hyperdrive. So all we did was run the RNG with that little bit of a switch, and that was it. Stop by the auto bet. Did we make any more money? Is the question. Actually, lost more money. We still lost $1,200. We didn't do any better. And I wonder if it's because that dice set favored inside numbers and not field numbers.
Yeah, it's
you know what I'm saying? So that's interesting, though.
Yeah.
But it's cool that you can do this, I guess. Is
So
more
what
the
you
thing,
can do
right?
also, you could set up one set of probabilities and use those. But I
Mm-hmm.
would say if you believe in this, that you would have several sets, right? You know, a guy's on a come out roll, he's going to set certain numbers and you roll in a certain
Sure.
way. And when he's on a point, he's going to roll them a different way. So you go in here and you set up your probabilities and you save them as a file. Up in the corner
Mm-hmm.
there, you can see where it says file. You can say save as. You give
Yep.
it a name.
Which we did. Yeah. Call it
Right.
call it
And
Steam
then
or
you'd
something,
set
right?
and then you set up some other probabilities and then you would save those as a name. And then you
Mm-hmm.
can come in and switch them when you want manually, or you can go into the scripting and they have the scripting do it for you. You can say, when on a come out roll, use this file. When on a point
Oh,
is
no
set,
kidding. No kidding. So I can come in here and say, like, literally, when you're in this section where it says, if next roll is a come out roll, then, and you might even say, if I'm on the dark side, then, you know,
so go over to
use
where it says
some.
actions. Go at the bottom where it says actions.
Okay. So I'm going to do here. So actions.
And you should see where it says activate
Activate
probability
probability
file
file. Okay.
and click on actions and put that in where you want it. And
So I
then
could
enter the name.
say, so coming out from the dark side, use this dice set.
Exactly.
Right? Oh my God. I didn't know you could do this. That's stupidly cool. Like, that is stupidly cool.
Yeah, I've been meaning for a long time to do a video on this, explain it.
Yeah. That's interesting because I have a show planned. I'm going to go back to the interview screen here so people can see your face again. I've actually got a show planned, Steen, where I'm going to, not disprove dice control, but what my assertion is what I've seen in Wincraps. When I set up probabilities to be off of what the expectation is, you can make a strategy never lose with a really small change. It doesn't take much to do it. Now that I know I can do this with a script, I was doing it manually before. I didn't know I could script it. I can write a little 3-point Molly script that basically says use the most favorable 7 set on the come out. And then when I'm rolling, when I have 3 come bet set, now switch the dice set to one that's more favorable to numbers. And actually tweak this thing to use different dice sets. I'll make this thing never lose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's cool. I didn't know I could put that in a script. That really changes the game. As far as me writing scripts that can prove or disprove different theories. Like, given this set, if that was happening, what does the play look like? That's really, really cool.
Right.
I love it. I love it.
Running off, or you want to spend 5 minutes to check the online?
Yeah, let's do it. You want to play online real quick? So everybody really, we have anybody watching still? 13 people still watching us. Let's do online. Let's go. I'm going to turn this off. Actually,
I'm on my other
turn that
computer here, so
so people can see this. I'm going to turn that off too. And if I go to game online, I got to save my script. Yes. No. Okay, folks, I'm going to go online with Steen. Oh, I'm not showing my screen. Let me share my screen again. There. Okay, so I'm online. I'm going to close this out. I went to in Wincraps. Let's see. Close my session. Yes. I want to restore my table settings before going on. Yes. What?
okay. Yeah, disregard. You can select new.
All right. Yeah, we're going to do game online. So if I go to online, I do not want to save my session. So here I'm in the Wincraps pit. You want to talk me through some of the options people have here before I start actually playing it?
Okay, first of all, anybody can do this. You just download Wincraps 3.0,
Mm-hmm.
Pro 3.0. You don't have to register, you don't have to pay anything, and you can get online and you can observe the tables. Now, if you like it, you like Wincraps, you think it's worth $15, you get it, and then you can get on the tables and you can chat with everybody. And if you want
Mm-hmm.
to, when you register, I give everybody 2 or 3 months of free subscription. And then the idea is later on, uh, hopefully this will become popular and people want to do it. And then you can keep the subscription going, and that lets you play on the tables and host tables.
Mm-hmm. So
Now,
if I go to the pit, then this gives me a view of there's some online tables that are out here right now. There's like 4 or 5 of
right,
them, right?
right. So you
Looks like
look at a table, and it's going to show you if it's open. It'll show you what players are on the table
mm-hmm.
and where they're at, and their names, and then it'll show
Oh,
to the
this
right
is
the limitations. Min bet, max bet, odds, all
sure.
that.
Okay. So
So
here's a
you
$10
pick a
table.
table.
There's a come ladder bet. The bot is playing the come ladder. Let's go to that table. My
So
name
you
is
enter a name,
John.
and I'll do the same on my computer here.
Okay.
I'll go to
So
the same
I'm
table.
coming in as John.
Okay.
And you'll see that there's a little chat bot up here. We can move this over to the side of the screen. Whoops. It's rolling dice for us, which is awesome.
So now you're on as an observer. If you
Yeah.
want to play at the table, you would on the little chat window there, it says play.
Hmm. Yep.
You click on play, and it'll give you the spots that are open. You pick one of them.
Okay. So I'm going to go, so 4L.
And then it'll say, what do you want for bankroll?
Let's buy in for 2,000.
Now
And
it'll log you in and send your data to everybody, and it should say good luck in a second.
there I am. I'm over here on the left. Good luck.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I'm in.
So now I'll get on as well here. And
Okay.
let's see, I'll go to maybe 2 right.
I'm going to move this down here. And y'all can see it's rolling numbers as we go here, right? It's rolling. It's on a little timer that's rolling numbers. And if I do this, status boxes align at the top.
Okay, so now I'm
There's Steam.
I'm on the table as well. And
So
there's a
Steam
chat thing
joined
there, so we
remotely.
can-
So people have to see this. Like you joined remotely, right? You're here. I'm over here on the top left. I can say, hi, Steen, hi. And you will see that in your chat. And we're chatting as we're playing, which is kind of cool.
Right.
So
Now,
here we
you
go.
did,
That's awesome.
It looks. I'm looking on here. You changed all your status boxes are black.
Yeah, I'm not sure. When I upgraded one time, it did that. I'm not sure why it did that, but that's how it happened.
Okay. Oh, it's probably you probably had. Well, it's to take a while to explain it, but you can change
Yeah.
that. So on the status box, you right click on that, and then then you choose color.
Okay.
And then
So yeah, it's all black.
Just do Control A. Do a Control A. It should select all of them. Or maybe it won't. There you go. And
Well,
then
I'm on a
hit
Mac.
default.
Oh, there you go. Control A default. Okay, there we go.
There you go. Okay, so now they're
All right.
different colors. I mean, you could have them
All
all
right.
black if you wanted, but this way it kind of separates them out. And in the chat box, you'll see the colors match the status boxes, so we can see
Oh,
who's
cool.
talking.
Okay, that's very cool. Awesome. All right, so we
And
can
then
just go put bets out
and
there,
then
right? Just go.
you just play Wincraps. I mean, you make bets as per usual and all
Yeah.
that. Now, if you had more time or if you want to do this another day, let me know, and I'll show you how to host and do all that.
Yeah, this is cool. So I just go 160 across and let's let it play itself out. So I'm actually betting.
And this is set up for the automatic 20-second rolling.
Yep.
If you take over hosting, you can change it. You can increase the speed.
So if I make myself the
slow it
host,
down.
would like to host the table, I say yes. Now I'm hosting it and I get more options now. Now I get to know who's where and I can set different rules. I make this screen bigger. I can change the timer. I can give it a different table name.
Right. Although the
Yep.
players didn't show up there, so I'm wondering if you have need to update that program.
Maybe. Yeah.
Download the latest. Yeah. Anyway, that's the idea.
Yeah, this is awesome. So yeah, so you and I can actually, like, the nice thing about this, we're playing live, you and I right now, but
Right.
I can put in one of my scripts. I can throw the red
Exactly.
cross into here and let it play the red cross while we're talking, and let my script
Exactly.
go while we're playing around and run it against everybody else. And that's really cool. I see this as one of the answers for tournaments, for 2-3-4
Yeah,
versus two three
I think it
four
could be
kind of
fun.
thing. And you can watch the bets come out there and see in the color who's got what bets out there. The come ladder guys in the red, I'm purple. You know what I mean? And we can watch who's betting what. And I think this is to me is a game changer. This is the dream of playing multiple people online as a versus kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and if it's a tournament too, you can set time limits, and people can come in and watch it, and they can get on a wait list. So when
sure,
one guy times out, the next guy gets in, and
yeah.
just keep it
Well, and
ongoing
if you're
tournament.
running a team, if I'm running a team, myself and my team could come on here. We could practice as a team and see what we're all doing.
Yeah,
Right. I think that's where this thing really takes off. This is such a cool feature, Steen. I'm telling you, this is like a, you know, it just creates a new entry in the space that wasn't there before. I know Crapsy's got online stuff. Obviously, it's what it's all built around. But the auto betting and the multiple views and the feel of a real table is what this brings that you just don't have anywhere else. I think
yeah,
this is super
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing they've got is they've got multiple platforms, and right now I'm just running Windows. Although you guys like yourself, you run it with an emulator or an Apple,
Mhm.
but
But the
I'll
Apple
have to
emulator
talk.
works. This emulator works really good. You can see it's running fast. I mean, I got
Yeah,
a pretty high powered Mac here, so it's running pretty good. But yeah, you can run it. People can run. Yeah, you can run it on. The only thing it doesn't do, obviously, is you can't run it in a browser yet, but that'll happen at some point.
all
We
right.
can
I'm
kind
going
of
to put a
stack
couple
Windows
place
in a
bets up
browser.
there. You should see my place
There you
bets
go.
came on.
Yeah, I see your bets. You're out there with 110 inside.
Yeah.
I got the 160 across, and we're just gonna sit here and make money, right? So
So actually, since you click the host, um, it's
it
not going
hasn't
to
rolled
roll
the
the
dice in
dice
a,
because now you're the host. You have to roll the dice. So you can do that
right.
the way you do normally. You can do a
Mm-hmm.
right mouse click. You can do an F2 key, or you can set up an
Oops.
a dice roll file.
So if I right click, it's not rolling the dice.
Okay, let's see here. Do click on the game window, the main game window.
Yep. Oh, there it goes.
Okay,
Now
just
they
so
just rolled.
yeah. Now do a right click again. No, there's some. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? It's because the timer's on. It's doing a 20-second timing. That's why it doesn't go
Oh, it
instantly.
is. Oh, there they go. Okay,
And
there it is.
the reason I didn't see that is because you've got your status boxes up at the top, which are covering the little. Move your boxes just to the side for just temporarily. But just drag it. Click on and drag it. Okay, see where it says place your bets?
Yep.
That's a little box you can drag wherever you want also. When you right click and you roll the dice, that you'll see it
Mm-hmm.
count down.
Oh, I see. There it goes. I see the little,
So
and
when it gets to the
that
end, then
starts
it'll
the
roll.
timer. Okay,
Yeah.
I see. I see. Okay. So it's
Now,
not
let's say
auto
you didn't
rolling.
want to do that. Let's say you're talking to people and you're saying, okay, everybody get your bets down here, and you want to
Mm-hmm.
do it manually. See down in the chat box where it says lockout bets?
Yep.
You can click on that, and now everybody's locked out. I think you do the same thing on Crapsy, don't you? Don't you hit a
Yeah, you
lockout
do.
button or something?
Yep. You lock them out. Yep.
Okay, so now
And
they're all
then if I
locked out. Now
roll,
you can continue chatting or whatever, and whenever you roll, there you
ah,
go.
so now it's manual. Lock the bets, roll the dice.
Right.
Okay,
And
cool.
that
And then I can
that
also
same
do
lock,
I can also manually enter my rolls in here too.
yeah. Just
Same as
pull up
before.
the roll pad, do
Yeah,
it on the main
exactly.
game table, pull it F12
Where is that? Roll your own. I was
down at the
in.
bottom.
Oh my numbers. There it is. Yeah.
So you see
So I
there's a
can.
lockout button on that also.
Yeah. So
And
I
you
can
can
lock you
choose
all
whatever you
out.
want
Roll a
and
four.
roll that.
Yeah.
Now, if you there's some timing I have to explain on there. When you lock the bets out, it has to be at least 2 seconds until you roll. If it
Okay.
isn't, it'll do a little countdown for you, and then it will roll.
So
And
I
that
lock
has
it
to do
out
with syncing issues to make sure everybody stays
to
in
go to the
sync.
server. Okay. And then I do a 9, and there's the 9. Okay, that's cool. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, well, it'll be fun just to get some folks on there.
For
I had
sure.
a guy the other day doing a little podcast with got 5 people on. It was kind of fun.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll start doing some more of this. We've been talking about doing like team craps for a long time. Come back over to our screen over here. I've been talking about doing team craps for a while. Getting like 4 players to play together with a combined bankroll. This is a great way to mess with that. Get us all on the table, run some numbers, and see, how the combinations of place bets, come bets, don'ts, whatever, how jointly we can win money by
Yeah.
doing some of the same things, but in different, one guy building up, one guy drawing down, one guy playing the come kind of thing, and see how those things work together. So
Yeah.
this is good stuff, Steen.
Well, it's been going for a while. Been beta testing it for quite a while, but it's still in its infancy. So there might be a glitch here and there, and I respond to those. So please, if you see anything, you let me know. I'll get right on it.
Of course, you've been great. You've been a great guest. 2 days, 3 hours. It's been. I got to find a way to chop this video down into smaller chunks for folks, so we can get some of the good parts in different small videos. But this is great. I learned a ton from you today. I've been doing Wincraps for years, and every time I talk to you, I learn something new. So it's just that's the greatness of the program. So I really appreciate you and your time, man.
You broke up there a little bit, but I think I got the gist of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Had fun being on, and we'll try to do it again sometime.
You got it. All right. Thank you. Thanks everybody for being with and hanging out. I'll see y'all on Monday. Have a good weekend, everybody. Bye. Yep.
Bye.